Welcome back to Stocklabs market recaps. We've already reached the midpoint of January 2023. Week ended on the 14th, and really good week for markets again. So the indices were, for the most part, strong. I don't think we had any surprising things happen. Okay, crude oil was up 8%, but for equities, Russell led again his second week in a row to start the year. Russell's leading 5.4% to the upside. Q's big bounce up 4.5%, and S&P up 2.8, with the Dow trailing only up 2%. Bonds had pretty quiet week, up 1.5%, but a lack of bond market volatility, even at a somewhat elevated level of rates, is still going to be supportive for the market, so it's fine. And credit was okay as well, up 1.5%, pretty good week for high yield. So yeah, strong week from the indices. I mean, I think it's pretty clear, to start January, fund managers, whoever, people running money, they all just, everyone decided, they're just going to buy equities, especially the stuff that was beaten down the most in 2022. I mean, it's kind of obvious. You just see the calendar turn over to 2023. Stock market started going up. So, portfolios were probably under allocated to equities, so now they got to put back on all this exposure, even though, after doing all the tax selling at the end of 2022, they got to put the exposure back on to start 2023, even though, a lot of the things are all the same as far as the market goes. There's not like big change. For industries, as you can imagine, on such a big up week, it was the breadth across industries and sectors was pretty strong. Basic materials up 5.8%, healthcare up 6.1%, tech up 6%. So tech and healthcare were really bad in 2022 overall. Even going back to, I think, 2021 was already having some issues before the market even rolled over. And then services strong, up 5%, consumer up 4.5%, financials sort of whatever. I think we got some some bank earnings. We've gotten some bank earnings recently. Don't know anything about them, but financials seem to be holding up. Utilities up 1.5%, kind of nothing, flattish. Flattish compared to all these other ones. 1.5% for Utes is halfway decent. On our subsectors, got electric vehicles up 22%, kind of led by Tesla. Actually, let me go back to our leadership stocks to take a look at those. And okay, Tesla was up 8% this week. Amazon, big week, up 14%. This was one of the most beaten down of these, especially by the end of 2022. So, the comments that they made on their last earnings call were kind of catastrophic. Stock basically did nothing for a couple months. Calendar changed to 2023. People decided it was time to buy Amazon again. So that's what's going on here. NVIDIA up 14%. Same thing. NVIDIA had a pretty tough end of 2022, and it's just getting bought back probably by the same people that sold it before. These other ones have kind of mixed around a little bit amongst themselves. Apple only up 4%. Facebook up another 5%. This has been on a huge run. Netflix up 5%, huge run again still. Google up 5.5%. Google has kind of been the quiet one out of these. It's mainly just steady and hanging in there. I mean, it trades with the NASDAQ, but you never really see it. When we parse these out. You never really see Google at the very top or very bottom. It's always kind of just laying in the cut here in the middle. So um, yeah, we've got Microsoft up 6, and that's it. So strong week from leadership stocks. I mean, again, Nasdaq had a big week. Tech had a big week, and if we go to our subsectors, EVs up 22. Okay, we've got some kind of like biotech stuff here. Solar kind of goes, trades somewhat with EVs up 14%. What else? Anything notable? Anything else notable on here? Okay, cannabis up 10%. So you can see like the real junky stuff is running hard. Movie theaters again, same thing, but we've also got good stuff on here too, like semiconductors. Okay, the oil and gas trade had quieted for a while, had a big bounce this week. Um, yeah, overall we've got 25, 50, 75, 84 sectors up 5%. So pretty strong week breadth wise. On the downside, virtually nothing, which kind of tells you how bullish the market was this week. There wasn't even any rotating out of anything. It was just buy anything that's not nailed to the floor. So, yeah, I mean, interesting dynamic to start the year. I think it's mainly just a function of flows, but we'll see. Let's check the breadth by market cap. So 1 to 5 billion up 6.4%, huge week. 5 to 10 billion up 5%, huge week. 10 to 50 billion up 3.9. Okay, calm down a little bit. 50 to 100 billion up 3.1, 3.2%. And TerraCap's 100 billion plus up 2.66. So, yeah, I mean, the stuff, the lower cap, the smaller cap stuff, under, what did we say, under 10 billion? Yeah, so 1 to 10 billion cap range. They were up 5, 6 plus percent. So you can sort of see like there's a lot of speculative stuff that's running hard in the market to start the year. As far as intelligence for this week, what do we have? Driv, Bear Real Estate, Bear PayPal ETF. Actually, I'm going to kind of ignore these like leveraged single stock ETFs. I think they're sort of nonsense. TMV, Bear Treasuries, is bullish this week, so bearish the bond market overall. And SQQQ, everyone's pretty familiar. Short Qs is bullish this week, so NASDAQ should be somewhat bearish. And then I don't even know what this is. Gold, something gold with some sort of expiration date on it in 2038. I am going to entirely ignore that. And on the downside, we've got regional banks. Bearish this week. Total return fund. I don't know if this is some sort of balanced like stock bond ETF or whatever, but it's bearish. Gold miners. This is bear. Gold miners is bearish, so bullish gold miners this week. Dow Jones Internet stocks bearish this week. Not even sure what that constitutes as far as the internet stocks in the Dow. Big oil inverter NRGD is bearish, so bullish oil or bullish energy stocks this week, especially oil and gas exploration, those types should be bullish this week. So overall, I mean, yeah, it's not really an ideal start to the year just because, the lows in the market weren't, from toward end of 2022 or like fourth quarter 2022, the lows were really not that, I don't know if you want to use the word strong, but they were kind of like there was total liquidation in the market like for a long period of time, and then without a real sort of capitulation, um, market kind of just reversed and chopped around for a while, and then now to start 2023 kind of blasted off just with people buying back the stuff that they sold at the end of 2022. So maybe you're looking at getting to the December highs in the market, something like that. I forget what it was. I think we were sort of flirting around with, I don't know, 4,000 on the S&P, maybe 12,000 on the Nasdaq, somewhere around there. So that might be sort of your ceiling. Um, Again, we're still overbought on Stocklabs, actually pretty severely. Every day last week was basically still overbought from the Thursday or Friday before. So the signal is still active. I mean, the oscillator, the threshold is starting to move up. Even on 6 month, you can see it's sort of breaking higher here. Ideally, you'd want to see. I keep going year to date, and there's only a few. Ideally, you want to see. I really want to see an oversold signal. I think the market hasn't tested the true downside in a while. I mean, just not even in the last uh, week or so of 2023, but even end of 2022, market was selling down, but it really wasn't ever fully liquidating or anything like that. So I think this overbought condition, it's really going to have to burn itself off either by by the market dropping, or it's going to take a while. It's going to take a little while. It could take a few weeks to sort of burn through the overbought status and get the market, a little more balanced with its posture. But for now, everything's just been getting jammed higher as everyone puts their exposure back on. Like I said, from 2022. So we'll see if that's going to continue early next week. I mean, given how last week went, I'm guessing that it will. It'll just, at least for the first half of the week, you're just going to see stocks getting jammed higher, closing on the highs for, Monday, Tuesday, maybe into Wednesday, something like that uh, before anything more two-way price wise sort of starts to materialize. So we'll see. Um, I did sort of mention this end of 2022 that, when the calendar changes over to 2023, you kind of throw out everything that you knew from before, but it wasn't really expecting it to just be like 2023. Okay, let's buy everything. So, but that's what's happening. And yeah, the market looks good. Looks good into next week. We've got the bearish intelligence on the Qs. We've got the overbought market. So, I mean, pullbacks, they will manifest themselves. But for now, just with what seems to be the behavior of fund managers, probably the dips are going to get bought for a little while. That's it from me. Enjoy the long weekend for everyone. Markets closed on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So happy MLK Day for all those who celebrate. And yeah, be back next week, recapping, seeing how everything's progressing. And yeah, 2023 off to a good start for the market. So talk to you guys later. Bye.